Yo, welcome to the New Normal Podcast. Before we get started, y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe. Tell us what y'all think and give us some feedback on the topic today. Today we're gonna be talking about is masculinity under attack. And today I got my boy Bradley with me. You want to tell the good people anything?
Ladies and gents, this is Sir Bradley Ashton, man. Just back with it, a new normal podcast on Man Said. We got a good topic on store for the night, so I'm ready to talk about it.
Let's get started. Before we get started right now, I'm gonna play a video. Um, y'all bear with me. And it's from Mayana Fix My Life. But like I said, it's based on the topic we're talking about right now. And here we go.
4 hours. And there's no way just reading his space that I know he's going to allow a man to abuse a woman in his presence.
She doesn't think about me that way.
Yeah, that was pretty deep though. And like I said, like I was saying on Facebook, women really just don't care about the empathy of what it is to be a man. They don't try to sympathize, they don't try to have any type of understanding on what it is to be a man. And they always just want it their way. And especially with the rise of the single mother household.
80%,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
about 80%, man.
I even been watching your posts on your posts on Facebook and whatnot, and I've been seeing that One yesterday you posted something about. Hold on,
man.
I seen one of the chicks don't understand math that well. So you said it was like, I think it was 90% of.
So the post was like 98. It was facetious. I think
Okay.
the guy was joking.
Mhm.
But the post said 98% of children who have absentee fathers is due to the mother.
Right.
And I even when I see posts like that, I know like posts that I know they're gonna be controversial in a way. I try to even put a caption and say like, you know,
because your caption did clear it up. He's like, yeah, I think that's a little far, because he was
Yeah.
like maybe 70, 80. You know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah, right. You know, but I was like, just from having conversations with men who have been in that position, and especially as I gotten older, and you know, actually have given, you know, men a fair shake and telling their story, because I kind of grew up just believing what women said, you
Yeah.
know, like just taking their side, because we always was taught like believe women. But then, you know, as I started to get older and started, you know, going my own personal journey to kind of like discover myself, I realized like, man, women don't always tell the truth, man.
Yeah, like you got to understand, we grew up in an era where we couldn't even ask a woman their age. You got to think about that. When you ask a woman how old, you never ask a woman their age. Why is that? Because they're trying to be sneaky. They don't want you to know the truth about them. They don't want you to know if they really look
right.
their age. And like I say, when it comes to attack on masculinity, even when we can go, when you talk about not being truthful, Tennessee's trying to pass a law where everybody has to get DNA tested, because before they get on child support, because the women that are claiming to be the father,
Mhm.
over 30% of those men are not the father.
Man,
So
fraternity
that
fraud is real.
so you got to understand, if that's just the men that they're in question, you got to think it's probably upwards of 50% of men
And
taking
that's
care of
probably
kids they're not theirs.
and that's probably being liberal.
Yeah, that's actually being very generous.
That's probably being liberal,
Yeah,
man.
you got to think about this. So when we get to when we're talking about stuff like this, it's crazy, because we just watched a video where a mother stated that she doesn't think her son is a man based on her idea of what a man is. And she didn't teach this boy to be the man that she had the idea of in her head. So how can you live up to your mama telling you that you're not a man, because she has an idea of what a man is, but she didn't raise you to be a man?
Something that stuck out to me in that little clip was she kept repeating how he treats me, how he treats me, how he treats me. And I was like, damn, like, is that her dude?
Yeah,
Is that her man?
You have a lot of sons being raised to be the husbands and
Little
the
son
father of the
husband.
house, right?
You know what I'm saying? Son husband. And then I'm thinking like, you know, her idea, I'm thinking to myself, well, is your idea of a man the number of men that you've been with, and picking like every good quality of each man that you've been with, and you try to like
Mold them.
mold it into like
Right.
like a can we cuss him or
Yeah, you good.
it, man, you know, like a builder nigga.
This the new normal podcast. We real
look,
over here.
like a builder nigga. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, okay, I'm gonna take his swag, I'm gonna take his generosity, I'm gonna take his work ethic, I'm gonna take his height, all this stuff, and try to make him into this super dude that don't exist.
But the thing is, a lot of sons are paying for their father's mishaps.
I can kind of relate to that, man.
In what way?
Man, I really like, so recently, you know what I'm saying? I discovered like my biological dad, right?
Okay. How long ago did you just met him, or?
Man, just met him and just found out about him like 2 years ago.
Okay, so how was that?
Man, it was crazy.
If I don't want to get too personal, you could. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Like it was crazy to me, because you know I was always told that it was another guy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, from talking to his daughter and then taking the paternity test or whatever.
So you took the paternity test 2 years ago too?
Mhm.
So why did that come into question?
So
him, how did they even come up?
All right. So the young lady who I hit up, you know, I was just like, hey, you know, I hate that we didn't all grow up, because she has a sister and a brother through this guy, whatever.
Okay.
And I was just telling her, like, you know, we're adults now, and I want for us to have a relationship now. And she was like, hey, can you talk? And I'm like, cool. And she was just basically just saying, like, you know, I was talking to dad, and he was like, he don't know if, you know, saying like you're his son or not, whatever. And I'm just kind of like, you know, I've always been told this. You feel what I'm saying? Right. And she was like, well, he's been known to be a liar, so let's just take a test. Took a test, you know, that shit read straight 0.
Right.
And I'm like, what? like damn, like
damn.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm
I know
saying?
it
Like,
ain't funny, but
like you know
shit,
what I'm saying?
it
Like,
blows your mind.
like
Yeah.
damn, like your whole foundation, like you know, because you wonder in your mind as a kid, like damn, like why me and this man don't have a relationship,
Right.
and then it kind of makes sense now, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then being told that it was another guy.
I got a question before we go.
Go ahead.
Why you wait so long?
Bro, and that was the thing for me, like
Were you
know,
scared to address it, or was it an issue? Did you scared to go around behind your mama back and ask, or like?
oh no, man, I was always, it's one of those things, man. I know I'm not the only guy who has experienced this, but I know I used to ask her a lot, like about like my dad or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And she will always kind of get like uptight about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it was one of those things that she kind of didn't want to like bring up, you know what I'm saying? One of those periods in her life that she wanted to just kind of like just keep in the back of her mind. But at the same time, like you got a son, and you got a son that don't have a relationship with his father.
Yeah.
So it's like we're always looking to our fathers as our examples of, you know, what we should be as men. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, that's where we get our confidence from. So it's like with me, I always used to ask her, but she was kind of like blow me off. And it was just crazy, like the way how I kind of found out about this shit. Like I had to go outside of her to finally get the
was
answer.
it kind of like sneaking a little bit?
No, man. I mean, shit, it's just like me just, you know, thinking that, you know, that this one was my sister.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I still consider her a sister, but her thinking like she's my half sister to ever do this, man.
Yeah.
And then for her to, you know, I don't even know how that conversation even came up between the two of them, that he would even feel comfortable 20 years later saying, you know, like, I don't know, Brad, you know what I'm saying? I'm his daddy and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of mind blowing, like family, if you had those doubts, you know what I'm saying? Like, why even address yourself as my dad, you know, because I'm impressionable, because I was like 6-7 years old when he told me this shit. So it's like,
well, you got to understand when you was a kid, though, just in his defense, you got to think about a DNA test wasn't as readily popular, because you say you're 30 years old, right? So you got to think about DNA didn't come out really until the 90s.
I mean, paternity test been around for a minute, but
affordable paternity test is late 90s.
Okay.
So you got to think about that. And then you got to think about, like I said, a lot of us come up under this notion that we're not supposed to question women.
Right.
Even with the kids. So he probably was just going along with it, because we all taught growing up, you're not supposed to question women. You know, we all come up under the Disney fantasy that women don't lie, and
right.
women are, you know, XYZ. And so he's probably coming up under that same understanding that a lot of us other men had, to where he didn't question it and couldn't question it. So I don't necessarily blame him, you know, to a certain extent. But my son outside the door, y'all got him. He's been a little baby asshole. But I don't question him, or blame him, because like I said, we all had those same issues of what was going on.
Well, with fam, he came to my mom and was basically like, you know, I'm just gonna tell him that I'm his dad. You feel what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, I get it in a sense, you know what I'm saying, to try to give me a father figure. But I guess the thing for me, I would have appreciated more if he actually would have been a father figure instead of just, you know, giving lip service.
Right.
You know, but fast forward, you know, 2020, because 2020 was a very you know, eye-opening year for a lot of us.
Yeah.
And having that done, and then being able to reconnect with him, my biological father, I kind of figured out, like, me and him, even though we don't have a relationship, we are very much so alike. And like my mom was saying that they kind of had like a toxic relationship back in the day, and she was just basically saying, like, if she could ever get out of that relationship, that, you know, that she would put us in a better situation. But I think honestly, I'm kind of like, in a way, like his revenge, you know, because like out of all of his kids, like I look the most like him. And I think
about your biological father. Okay.
Yeah, like I look like his direct twin.
Okay.
And I think, you know, like with me and my mom's relationship, and I don't mind saying it, because you know, folks who know me know that me and my mom have a complicated relationship.
Okay.
So it's like with us, you know,
is it getting better though?
Are
you working on it, or do you care not to work on it?
I mean, at this point, you know, it's like I appreciate it for a lot of things that she's done, but it's kind of like it is what it is.
You got to mend those relationships, bro. I know we, and this is bad on me to say, because I'm not a psychologist, but I feel like we should always give our all to try to mend, you know, important relationship. Your parent is an important relationship, you know. Yeah, and we gotta always understand they human too and they fuck up. You feel what I'm saying? So it can't just be blame. But at the same time, if they repeating a cycle,
right,
and it's just toxic, it's
yeah.
it's just never gonna change. The person, I say fuck them. I do say that now,
Yeah,
but at the
yeah.
end of the day, we just always got to make sure we working, and as kids, we always feel like I'm the fucking kid.
Right.
You supposed to be trying to mend this shit because
Yeah.
you fucked this shit up, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, when you become an adult, it's like you could be in the house with your brother. Me and my brother, we have two different perspectives.
Okay.
Got the same mom, same daddy, grew up in the same house, but we have two totally different perspectives, right?
Okay.
So how do you think that is with a mother raising you and you raising you and you being in that house getting raised by this person? It might be two totally different perspectives.
Right.
So when you become an adult, it's like now I can get to a point where I can articulate how I'm feeling towards my mother or the emotions that I'm feeling. And sometimes it's kind of difficult to talk about those emotions because like I got a cousin, I had to help him talk through a lot of stuff with his mother the same way because he said he didn't know that his mother was training him to lie. He said he just realized that his mother was training him to lie. She would do certain things, and for instance, he said when their parents was cheating, his mama was cheating on his dad, right?
Okay.
His dad would come home and ask questions, and he would be telling the truth. And soon, like he in the mid sentence, she'll be like, no, you know that didn't happen. Then she'll be getting upset, and then like if he doesn't go along with what she would say, she would do little stuff to like punish him for not going along with what she said.
Oh wow!
Right, until just one day, dad just happened to catch her cheating. So he was like, she was grooming me to lie.
Yeah.
To my dad, and I didn't even understand. And he was like, my sister already knew her because she's older. She already knew the game, but I realized that, her birthday, she got great birthday parties and got her own house phone. We got her own house phone and home number and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, she was rewarding her for keeping her mouth shut. And like, I wasn't going along with everything all the time. So she would just punish me. And I'm like, that's crazy that y'all, like I said, both in the same household, same mom, same daddy, just different perspectives, treated differently, and not understanding because, like, he might be a little naive and a little slow with it. So, like I said, with those parental relationships, bro, we just have to work at it. Like I said, we got to remember that our parents human too, and they fuck up, even though they are parents and they're supposed to bring us into this world under the best possible, circumstances.
Right.
And that's just all I would say. Like, you just gotta try your best. And if it's a relationship that I don't want to go too deep in it, but if it's a relationship where you just know that, hey, I've been doing this shit 30 years, bro. Nah, dog. I hear you what you saying and shit like that, but this shit, nah, right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
I mean, it's always I think it's life is funny, man. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? You feel what I'm saying? I mean, for me, I can never hate her. You know what I'm saying? I could never do that. You feel what I'm saying? I just think like sometimes like in life, like this is a period in my life where I kind of have to like break away.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? As some would say, break away from the tick. You feel me?
Yeah.
And kind of know like what's life like, because like she's been a big fixture, and like when that happened, it was kind of like, damn, man, like what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like feeling like
so how was it when you told her the guy that you've been telling me was my daddy?
Yeah.
Wasn't my dad and this person my dad? How was that?
Man, bro, I like when I was talking to her about it.
Yeah.
Man, she was like, she kind of,
she kind of know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what kind of got me kind of feeling the way I'm feeling, because it's like in the back of my mind, like you trained me, kind of like how you said your untrained your cousin to lie.
Yeah.
Like my mom was the type of woman. She was like, look, you better tell me, you better not let the streets tell me shit that you could have told me first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I always try to my best to live by that. Now I didn't always do that.
Yeah.
But I try my best to do that. And for her to not follow her own sermon, it was kind of like, damn, man, like what's up? You know what I'm saying?
Because you didn't let the streets beat you home.
Exactly.
Right.
And see, with me, I'm like, with that situation, I'm like, shit happens. And I'm like, we could have talked about that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like the fact that you waited so long to talk about it, it's kind of like, damn, like why wait so long? You feel what I'm saying? And she brought up the situation with her and my biological dad and shit like that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, that honestly doesn't have anything to do with me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And regardless, like I still should have known who he was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then, when I got to know him and stuff like that, and that's I don't know if that's gonna be a work in progress, but being around him, I kind of can understand, like, okay, I could understand why, you wasn't around him and stuff like that. But I think with her, because she never really dealt with the situation with him,
Mhm.
I feel like, like a higher being or the most high, kind of like, made me like a second carbon copy,
Mhm.
it's for her to like deal with, because she thought that she was gonna wait for him, but she was actually dealing with another, like a second coming in the way.
Okay, I got you.
So when you said like paying for the sins of the father, I'm like, shit, like
That's how you kind of feel.
yeah, man.
Yeah, bro. I understand that. I don't understand it from a personal perspective, but I hear guys talk about it a lot. And like I said, when I used to go to church heavy, I used to, be in men groups and hear about a lot of issues that men were dealing with. And I'm starting to see a lot more men being vocal about the things that were going on. So my wife, she a teacher,
Okay.
right? She came home one day and she was saying that she was talking to one of the parents, right?
Okay.
And one of the parents had told her, yeah, basically, I don't know how they got in a conversation, but she was like, my son, he still sleeps in the bed with me, right? Now the son's 16.
Whoa.
Right. He still sleeps in the bed with her. And I said, first thing on my mind was like, baby, at 16, you waking up with a hard dick every morning. Every morning. And you sleeping in the bed with your mother. Right.
What's the that sounds like some edifice type.
Look, bro, but I heard, like I said, I've heard plenty of stories where the women try to keep the boys close. Sometimes I see, it could go either way. Is you could get the mothers who's real hard on the son,
right?
Or you got the ones that keep them really close.
Mm.
And sometimes you have the ones that be like real hard on them, like put them in sports and push them really hard. And you see a lot of that, like with the NBA and the NFL. You got your LeBron James, your Kevin Durant's, and you have that, and then you have your boys that you see on social media with their mama in the line doing twerking and shit like that. So it's like it just depends on, you never know. And what the thing is about a father, he's there to protect you from your mama. A lot of people don't understand that.
Man.
But and not to say that she maliciously doing anything. A lot of times it doesn't be malicious. It's just the lack of understanding on how to raise a man. And sometimes the women, they are overbearing, and like I said, they put a lot of the emotions on them. So for instance, my son could fall, and at first it was like, oh, come here, baby. Something like just simple, and then I was like, look, if you fall, don't look at him. That simple. He falls again, she'll look the other way, and I look the other way. He gets up, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
But so at first she's like, come here, baby. Oh, he's crying. Oh my God, my hurt. And so when I say don't look at him, we start looking at him and go pretend like we ain't doing that. It just makes them tougher.
Exactly, man. Like I'm like that with my godchildren, man. Yeah. Like they fall or whatever. Like I tell them, I give them a little pep. So he's like, you all right, get up.
Yeah.
You all right.
And so, like I said, those are the things that a lot of us men, we're not learning, is because we don't have a father. Women do push, the fathers away. Like I said, I had a friend that his baby mama would call him, say, it might be a Tuesday. She supposed to have the kids all week, and he get them on the weekend. And he want his kids all the time. She be like, "Come over here, get the kids, whoop whoop," and he'll get over there. You kidnapping my kids? You kidnapping my kids? I'm calling the police. She would do stuff like that because court order was Monday through Friday was her. Weekends was him. Holidays he would get them, and they would alternate. You know how court orders do stuff, try to make it even.
Right.
But at the end of the day, she will always have an issue or try to cause an issue with him. You know what I'm saying? Especially when he moved on, got in a relationship, and had kids with someone else. And that when the issue really struck up. And I had to tell him, I say, bro, you might not want to hear this, and I know them your C's, but the headache. You got other kids now and a whole nother family you trying to create. Going over here dealing with them, we're gonna put you in jail, and now you can't see none of your kids. So it's either you let them two go and take care of these two over here, or you let all of them go.
Man, I don't know if you follow what's my man Thomas Sotomayor.
Yeah, I watch him every now and then.
Like he talks about like stuff like that to the point where he said he got I don't know if this is true, if he said he got a book called like Fuck Them Kids or whatever, but it's kind of like that same concept.
Yeah,
like
I ain't never heard of it.
yeah, but he basically talking about how like sometimes like women do make it hard for men to be in their kids' lives to the point where he's like, shit, fuck them kids, man. You gotta move on and make some new kids, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like kind of going back to the post, you know, with the absentee fathers and stuff like that, like, you know, I'm not trying to make an excuse for men not being in their kids' lives. You feel what I'm saying? You know, like if you gotta, you know, go to bat for your children to be in their lives, you know, do what you got to do. But it's like at the same time, I'm like, man, why do men even have to go through that to even be in their kids' lives, man? Bat for your children to be in their lives, you know, do what you got to do. But it's like at the same time, I'm like, man,
I'm tripping, guys. My bad. I was trying to share the Facebook. Hold on. Go ahead.
But yeah, it's just kind of like, man, like, why make it difficult? You know, when we, you know, if people have a knowledge of, you know, family court or have, you know, had personal experiences with it, you will know that, you know, women are agents of the state, and the state gonna always have a certain bias towards women and gonna always try to extrapolate, you know, resources from the man.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you already know that you already got an upper hand in this thing, bro, why are you trying to force my hand and get the courts involved? You know, knowing that, you know, irregardless of what I do, they're going to look out for you more than they are me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're involved in the courts in something that we did on our own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you would think that with us being like one of those first or second wave generation of kids that grew up without two parent households, you would think that we would try to be the ones to kind of like corral that. And some are, but then you still got the ones that feel like, well, I'm gonna use the kid as leverage and I'm gonna use them as a pawn in my own wicked scheme, you know what I'm saying, to get back at my ex. And I just think that's just not right, because at the end of the day, you're not only affecting the relationship that man has with his child, but you're affecting the relationship that child has with their father. And that's how a lot of kids end up having a lot of resentment towards their dads, because, you know, some mamas will lie and say that, oh, you know, your daddy wasn't trying to be there, and he wasn't trying to do this, he wasn't trying to do that. I was watching an interview with Offset. It was about like, I think like 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about like, cause he got a stepdad that he cool with, and then he's just now getting to know his biological father. And his biological father was kind of like trying to explain to him like what was the situation between him and his mama. And Offset was like, man, bro, I ain't even mad at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if this comes from a level of understanding, because he
age. A lot of that come from being older and dealing with women yourself.
Yeah, because he got kids, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like he probably dealt with it too.
Yeah.
So he probably like, you know, man, hey, I understand. And then he was like, you know what, bro? I even got something for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So for him to even be open enough to say, you know what, like,
and that's probably part of his healing too. That probably was like, I got to give you something to release something that I might have been holding on, some aggression I might have had to you, or some lack of understanding, the resentment that I had you for not being here, being in my life, and not having that understanding of why this, because we have to, as men, we understand, we get to a point, I think we understand too, that we a lot of us out here just fucking. That's just real shit. A lot of us out here just fucking, we having a good time, and it's honestly, men today, the 2022 man has to be more conscious of who he's sleeping with, because I know the stats say that, you know, we have more virgins and incels now today than ever before. That's what they say now.
Yeah, 30% of men aged 18 to 30 have reported still being virgins.
So even with that being said, it seemed like to me, I don't know any of that lifestyle, but to me, it seemed like vagina's always been easy. to me.
Yeah.
But I've always been the type of guy that had, a gift for gab. Like I don't never really just brag on stuff like that about women because I don't ever feel like this is personal to me. I never feel like a chick that I hit is a bragging right because I feel like if she fuck me, she can fuck anybody.
Man, you'll be
That's just how
surprised.
I feel. It's just like
Right.
if she fucking me, she'll fuck you too. So it's just
Right,
like
right.
it's not really nothing to brag about. So that's why J. Cole said something, and I slept on his album off season. He said I could fucking all them hoes because I realized I am the hoe.
Mm.
That's some real shit. It's like, bro, I ain't even got that type of energy for women like that. So when you have that type of and that level of understanding, you understand like, hey man, I've been out here hitting these chicks, and any number of these chicks I could have got pregnant,
Right.
and there might have been a time where I ran from responsibility,
Mm.
and so we hold so much in our community, we hold so much resentment against the father, and the mother can't do no wrong. But the thing is, women always have a way out.
Man,
With abortion, that's 100%. So a woman always has a way out. A man doesn't. A man, and that's why I say you have to be protective as a man. And this is the 2022 man part of your masculinity. Now it's not about your seed or your legacy, it's who you sleep with.
I mean, cause shit, low key, who you have a kid with, that's gonna be a part of your legacy. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's like, man, you don't wanna extend the next generation with a scallywag. You feel what I'm saying?
All right.
Like
And
that's like,
you got to think about all of that, bro. Just thinking about like a Kim Kardashian
oh Lord,
taking a tablet from
Lord.
her child because a new sex tape is getting released.
Oh Lord,
Bro, do you know how terrified I would be?
It when even before he even had kids with Kim, the simple notion that man would even decide that, hey, like, I'm trying to, I don't know if he did it because of Hov or whatever, but like, man, I gotta be with somebody that's like on a high level, so I gotta be with this chick. And it's just like, bro, like this woman can be Google, you know what I'm saying? Like fam, like why would you want to, you have the money to be with any type of woman you want to be,
right?
And you would literally choose to be with this woman whose family, might I add, has a reputation of pretty much ruining men of our culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like the fact that you even take a dive like that and then thinking like, I guess because of your money that, oh, y'all could evade those things. And then her past end up coming hunting not only her, but the whole fam.
Right. I agree. I agree 100%. And the thing is, since we own people like that, even the media has gotten to a point where they're telling young boys that they can be girls, that they can compete in women athletics because they're not men enough to compete with other men. How the fuck a 400 and something place man that let you know a 400 something place man can become number one?
Little shout out to Leah Thompson, you know what I'm saying? World class.
how does that, bro? How does that shit happen? But I think masculinity and femininity is under attack, both of them.
Man, I mean, when you put it in that way, man, like
and not sports. Sports is not attacking because sports is naturally a male thing. Competition is naturally a male thing. But when you have a Bruce Jenner, 1 year of being a woman,
be sportswoman of the year,
woman of the year, they let you know a man 1 year of a man's life is telling you that he's a better woman than you are.
That you could ever be. Like that's
right.
Like,
that's wild.
That's wild, bro.
That's crazy. So we're dealing with a lot of crazy things that's going on in society right now that I do think masculinity is at the forefront right now.
Oh, for sure.
It's definitely at the forefront, but you got to think about this. Femininity is small. Femininity is petite. It's elegant. It floats. It's femininity is part of the unknown. This is when you see a woman and she's beautiful, man, because you ain't talk to her. You see a bitch across the room, like, damn, she's fine as fuck. But let that bitch up her mouth say something stupid.
Oh my God, the attraction level goes down, all the way down.
Right. So that's what femininity is. So you got to think about how they're attacking that. right? You got the women on social media being loud, fighting, big as hell now. You got the Lizzos in front. And you got to think about this. They say correlation is not necessarily causation, right? But you can see that with the rise of weight, marriage has gone down.
Man, with masculinity being under attack, I feel like a lot of times men are now being vilified for just adding in their nature.
Right.
But check this out. But we'll praise women for exhibiting the same traits. Like she's strong, she's brave,
right.
she's courageous. And I'm like,
Bruh, Dick Gregory said some real shit. He said, I don't want to misquote, but he was basically like a police will pull you over and shoot the shit out of you, but won't even shoot the car because we say cars are beautiful and elegant and shit like that. We don't even refer to women like that. That shit was so funny. The way he put it, it was funny as fuck because like, damn, that shit about real because we do refer cars. Oh, that car is sexy. We don't even refer to women like that no more. We don't. We say strong. She's a hard worker. Like women ain't meant to be fucking like working hard and shit like that.
Man.
But see, the thing is, it has to come full circle because it's an attack on people. But the masculinity has to be forefront because when you have men, especially black men, when you have black men, we're just talking about us because I don't really know too many cultures, but I can see it. Not, I'm part. I've dated and all this. So when I'm watching and I say, I don't really want a bigger woman or a fat woman. That's just natural because men fall in love with our eyes.
Yes.
So if I don't take on a woman, she's left to be out there to be masculine.
So I don't know if you watch Donovan Sharp. He's one.
I never watched him. I don't time I seen him was on Fresh and Fit.
Okay. Yeah. So on one of his lives, he talks about how experience makes men, but it damages women.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like the longer that women are out here just kind of like to fend for themselves and left to their own devices, chaos ensues. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, women are having
that's why you have to have an abortion.
Boom.
That's why you have to have it legal.
Exactly. Cause once you took, that masculine covering off women, it was like shit. How can you control women not getting pregnant?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you talking about back in the day, I mean, it's still going on now in some households, but hell, a woman can't leave the crib unless a man marries her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But and I hear a lot of older people. Like I even just think about my grandfather talk about how he dated my grandmother. The dates were always at the house on the front porch. You're not taking her nowhere from here.
Nowhere.
And I have to vet to make sure that you are worthy enough to take on my daughter.
But see, that was important
because fathers are more hypergamous than women are.
Break it down for me.
Well, if I got a daughter, I want to make sure you're capable of taking care of her properly. If she leave my house, she shouldn't have to come back and ask me for shit. That's the whole point of her leaving. So I'm going to make sure you are suitable enough, you're financially stable enough, you're emotionally stable enough, you understand what it takes to take on a family. I'm going to talk to you. Do you understand what it takes on what it's like taking on kids? Right. Do you understand what it's like maintaining a household, going to the cut grass, fixing shit? Do you know what it is like to go get the car service? Do you know what it is like to come home when she's on her cycle and she's raising a lot of hell in the house and you have to deal with your shit and her shit, and you might just say, hey baby, you need to go lay down and go in here, or say, oh, you check that shit today, or this month you might, hey, you acting like a motherfucking bitch today. Like I gotta make sure, like, and that's real. If I had a daughter, I would not want her to be with no dude that I feel like was weak. If I see any sign of weakness that you're gonna bend over for my daughter, I don't want you with her, because as a man, even if this is my daughter, I don't ever want to feel, I don't want her to feel like she can run you over, because her running you over is attacking your masculinity at all times.
And it drives me to this point here. Do you think a lot of women today, do you think they was raised by bitch ass dudes? And that's why they kind of act like the way that they do.
See, but that's the issue that a lot of fathers fuck their daughters up.
Right.
Because a lot of guys that I see that have daughters, they's really, really fucking soft for their daughters.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, baby. And then men, we lie to our daughters. We do a lot of fucking lie. The first panderer to a woman is say daddy.
Facts.
He should give you the world and he should do this. And if a man won't do X, Y, Z, it's like, my nigga, you don't even do it to your own wife in the house with your daughter. Like, bro, what the fuck? Like, no, nigga, like, no, I'm not telling my daughter none of that bullshit. If I had a daughter, I would not tell her none of that bullshit. I would not tell men are romantic. Nigga, men created romantic. If you look up history,
Roman antics, people.
But if you understand that, men created the whole notion of playing the boombox outside the window. A woman that come with that man just did that shit and they put it in the movies and thought, oh, this is cool. This is what romance is. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you got the flowers and, you know, these Roman Greco holidays, and you got to understand what's really going on behind like Valentine's Day and just the etymology of it. All of this shit is deeper than just what I'm just giving the surface level of this shit. But like I said, the fathers pander to their daughters because the thing what scares fathers is their daughter dealing with who they truly are.
Man, yes. And then, you know, with women also bearing the responsibility of, you know, carrying the seed and not one, you know, their daughter to bring a child home and stuff like that. I think, you know, men, they, you know, sometimes they try to safeguard their daughters, but it's to a point where, like, if you do that too much, like, we know women. Yeah. Women can be sneaky.
They have to be, though. They're designed that way. Most people don't understand this. Men don't worry about their peeing a sheep. That's a Game of Thrones line.
Okay.
But the reason is women are small. Typically.
Right.
A woman is 120 pounds.
Average, yeah.
Supposedly 120 pounds. Average man is 170 pounds, right?
Right.
So 70 pounds, 80 pounds. So, but a man can literally kill a woman with ease.
Oh, bare hands.
Ease. Right. So a woman has to be sneaky. She has to be conniving. She has to have. That's why that's why they used to teach women how to flirt, how to talk, how to have that like they said, you don't want to have a tongue of a whip. You want to have a flattering tongue. Women, that's why they're so big on how women speak to men. And they say when you hear pastors say women speak life into men, you speak life, you speak manipulation, you speak your cunning, you speak your sexual, you speak, hey, I want a new car, I want this, I want you to. Women learn how to speak because that is your power. And women think it's a lot of their vagina, but it's not. It's how you speak. It's how you move. It's how you carry yourself. It's how you make me feel. How you have me open enough to do all of these things to make me feel like I'm a man, and I don't mind doing those type of things for you.
Right.
Long as you are acting accordingly or moving accordingly to how I need to love you. Right. So that's the thing about women and men. Women have to be that way because women are supposed to be soft and men are brute force.
That's true. Physical.
That's the balance of us. See, you get you a woman, and if you're a hothead woman, and I've seen it, you can get you the hot-headed ass, most nigga that crazy ass nigga don't give a fuck about going to jail, shoot everything up. He get him a good woman that know how to speak to him.
Man,
she can say, hey man, you know, baby, I don't think that's good. I need to sit down. And he'll just calm the fuck down.
But you know what's crazy, man? It's crazy how that shit has like reversed, bro.
You got to tell a bitch to sit the fuck down.
Like you got to like men, like what I was told, men are not supposed to provide peace. It's supposed to be women that do that, but it's like because we've been raised, you know, in like reverse or whatever. It's like, you know, now the guy got to be the common grace. Like, hey, baby, like, hey, baby, like you kind of wild, like, you know.
Yeah, that's wild as shit. When me and my wife first got together, right, it was a video of this couple in IHOP.
Okay.
So the man kept saying, hey, baby, let's go. But the police was in there and she was like, no, I'm going to try to figure out why they harassing us. He kept pulling her on, like, baby, let's go. So the police like, fuck it. Like, he didn't say that, but you could tell his whole demeanor just switched like that. She just kept fucking with him and just put her husband in handcuffs. Why are y'all doing it? They beating his ass because he was trying to resist, but he's telling this bitch, let's go. So I let my, we was dating at the time. I said, let her see it. And I said, what do you think? Cause I'm just trying to gauge who I'm with, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, I don't know. I was like, I think she should have listened to the man. I was like, you're right. I was like, if anytime we in a situation, I tell you, let's go, and it's some police or something, you don't want to go, I'm leaving your ass there. Cause I'm not gonna be fucked up or killed because you gotta see what the fuck they talking about. And when that man told her to let's go, she should have got her shit and got the fuck on.
Facts.
And see, that's the thing about men now. We're cowering down to winning. And that's not how this is supposed to be. The woman is supposed to be the easygoing, soft, rub your back and make your day easy. But like I said, now you got all these damn videos of bitches shooting each other and women fighting and getting stabbed up. It's like, damn, these bitches hard as fuck now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then women love to say, I'm gonna do you like you do me. Baby, you're a woman. You should act accordingly.
Facts.
And that's why we have so much of an issue nowadays with masculinity and femininity, because the lines are gotten blurred, and everybody, not just men and women, but it seems like most of the people are raised by their mothers.
Man, like one of the, I ain't gonna say it was a godsend, but when MTV came out with 16 and Pregnant and Teen Moms, I think that was the first time that, like, I know Black people for sure, but like just America in general saw that like single motherhood was bigger than just a Black issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say white women, you know what I'm saying, make up the most single moms in America.
Single moms.
That's all I wanna say.
Well, I did see, you might be on to something, because I did see something that said that, because this is the first time that maybe not married, but two Black kids growing up in 2-parent homes is like 80% now. I seen a statistic that said that is on the rise of 80% or something like that. It went up, but kids live, and I know a lot of people who are not married that are raising their kids together. So that statistic of just, being a single mother is different when you got people that are born in hospitals and they say, are you married or single? So if you're taking that statistic, then yeah, they would technically be single.
Right.
But being a 2-parent household, it's a whole nother statistic, is how many people living in the house. So like I said, it just depends. But I do know a lot of people that are, like I said, in relationships but aren't married.
Right.
But like I say, when it comes to masculinity, men first have to come back and not be worried about what women say. Like, I post all the time on Facebook, and it's like, I don't give a fuck what nobody said, because, and then I hate the hate rhetoric when men are speaking.
Man,
like if me and you are having a conversation, it should never be a time where a woman intervenes because she ear hustling to see what we talking about.
Exactly.
If she gonna ear hustle, she need to ear hustle and keep that shit upset to see how she need to run.
How she move with men,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But it's like now, women feel like, well, we're eye to eye, we equal, so I can push back, I can question your notion, and it's like, baby girl, like, and you don't want to, talk in a superior like sense, but it's like, baby, like, you're the tail, I'm the head for a reason, like,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like know your role, like stay in your place. You feel what I'm saying?
Like I said, bro, it was a time. Have you ever heard of rule of thumb?
I've heard a rule of thumb, but
okay, so rule of thumb, people say, well, rule of thumb, but rule of thumb, you can look this up. Rule of thumb meant basically a man could beat his wife with a stick no bigger than his thumb.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can look this up.
Damn.
Yeah, so when people, you got to understand, and I don't condone none of that.
Yeah, we don't condone, you know what I'm saying, violence or anything like that.
I know people are
towards anybody, because they're like, oh, so you said,
yeah. But I'm just saying, it was a time right there, and we had better stuff, and they got to understand. The odds, man, domestic violence is actually committed more by women than anybody. Bro, nobody talks about this.
Bro, like 40-50%, bro.
Nobody talks about this. And so I used to talk to a social worker, and I said, how do y'all have a statistic that says women do XYZ when it comes to domestic violence, but it's unreported? How does that work? And she was saying, so let's say I go to someone's house, right?
Okay.
And I'm sitting on the couch, and the husband got a black eye, right? She said, I asked the husband, hey, how did you have the black eye? And she might be like, the bitch might say, yeah, I punched him in his face. And she might say, ma'am, you can't be hitting him. Sir, do you want to file a police report? No, I'm good. And so she said, I still document it. So that's how that still gets documented, but it doesn't go farther as police or an incident that happened or domestic violence.
Right.
So that's how that statistic works. Is I just go to the house, nigga got a black eye, scratches on them, or you could just walk in the house, you could just see they just got done fighting. I asked him, I said, hey man, ma'am, you can't put your hand on this, man. The men, she's like 90% of the time, men do not press charges.
And one reason, because I was involved with a woman, her mom, with her, I guess her little brother's dad or whatever, they had, saying some disputes or whatever. And he actually went to the police, and this man was like 6'4", I think maybe
They used to hide in
like 270, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, hey man, this woman like here, she whooping my ass, man. And then they looking at her, she 5'1", $130 soaking wet. They like, her little ass, goddamn this. And it's like, bro, like I be seeing that meme, like the chicks that be 5'3" and shorter, dog. Like that's hey.
But see, and that's the thing. That's the thing. When we talk about attack on masculinity, attack on masculinity, and why the people end up getting killed, because I done just told you, hey, this bitch beat my ass now. Now I finally snapped, because a lot of people we know as men, most guys that are really big are really soft. Not like soft as in punks or pusher. They're just nice.
Right.
Just think about like Shaq, big ass.
Right.
The biggest kid you will ever see on TV dancing, just want to have fun. It ain't gonna hurt a fly, pretty much. You feel what I'm saying?
For sure.
The bigger the guys are, they just soft, they gentle, they don't really they never really have the reason to move their weight around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when you have guys like that, and then you have a woman that's because sometimes a feistiness can be attractive.
Yeah, okay.
It could be attractive, it could be a turn on, but sometimes it can go too far. And so sometimes that 6'4" nigga you talking about on a 5'1", what you think? One hand to crush your windpipe,
man.
What like I just snapped, and I just.
Bro, like I was watching a video recently of like a brother of the alphabet group.
Okay.
But he was like 6'2", like 230, 240.
Yeah.
Black girl, you know what I'm saying, running at the mouth, blah, blah. Man, when I said this man slapped her so hard.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the not into like a crowd of people, bro.
Damn.
I'm like, damn, like
bro, like you could think about this. You can watch UFC. UFC women hardly ever knock each other out.
No.
It might be a kick, and it might be somebody catch a lucky punch. Just think about how many men have knocked men out. Just think about how many niggas Mike Tyson was knocking out. Just think about, when you think about just the sheer power that men possess compared to women can't even knock women out. So just think, even if a woman is beating on a man, it's like, why, if you understand this, why would you do that? And so when we talk about, you say the guy going to the police station, that's attack on masculinity, because I'm telling other guys, hey man, I have an issue, and other guys are laughing at me and not taking me serious. So now my ego is bruised. Because I'm telling you, hey, this woman is doing XYZ to me. I need to file a police report or restraining order or whatever. And y'all looking at, because it's a size different, and that she's a woman, which we know women are a lot weaker. And that's why people don't know that women are conniving, women are evil. It was a time where, women was poisoning men with antifreeze in their food.
Man, I've heard like crazy stories like that, bro.
Like, you got to understand, antifreeze was damn near undetectable, and why people was dying. You can look this up. And then they start understanding, and then they ended up getting a test for it late 90s, maybe early 90s. It's in the 90s of men dying from antifreeze. And so that was the number one way women was killing men, was antifreeze.
Damn.
And they were sharing secrets with each other, how to kill their husbands, get life insurance policy, and the police would never know, because they didn't have technology really fucked women up a lot. Just think about it. Social media.
Facts. Tell them, oh my God, bro. Like social media, bro, like that shit, man, bro. Like women will complain about the type of attention that they get from certain guys and all that, but it's like, bro, you're putting it out there yourself.
Right. They actually love the attention. You don't get on. If you don't like attention, you can turn your phone off. See how easy it is. But you got people that spend billions of dollars to make us addicted to our cell phone.
Facts.
And women know they get free attention. They love to get on there and show their bodies and bikinis and shit like that and lingerie. They don't give a damn about walking out in the public and just lingerie now. The see-through shit, just with their ass with a little
Bro.
thong and shit like every day. Now, if we was at the beach, maybe.
Fam, I was at a party one time. My cousin was throwing for like his 25th birthday party. It was a young lady walking that thing, bro. No lie, she had like a sheer cone dress.
Yeah.
The only piece of clothing that she had on was like a panty thong, bro. Like nips showing, cheeks showing. I'm like, damn, like I'm like, you may as well be naked.
But see, they want that type of attention. And like I said, and I'm gonna do a video on this. That's why when we hit women like that, we have a lot of sexual remorse. Because most of those women that doing all that type of attention usually is a 5-minute fuck and you're not even impressed. You're like, damn, I really wanted to hit this bitch this bad. And this shit didn't even last 5 minutes. And I don't even like this bitch like I like, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, we doing a lot of stuff to we have to accept a lot of stuff nowadays. And like I said, when you see the direct correlation between, men being raised by women, women getting bigger, women left to their own devices, not marrying, men not marrying. And we all know statistically, when people are in marriages or relationships, they live longer. This is a statistical fact.
I've heard people say that, but like just anecdotally, you know what I'm saying? Just anecdotally. I don't really see a lot of old black men. Honestly, I see.
But hold on. I can clear it up. You don't see a lot of older black men now, but you are starting to see it because everybody's lifespan has gone to 80 years old.
Okay.
Everybody across the board. That's from technology. Another thing is men are reportedly taking care of themselves a lot better now than they ever had because men did not believe in going to the doctors. If you look up statistics, men hardly ever go. And so that's why you hear commercials on the radio urging men about taking, prostate exams and stuff like that. Was 50 years old. For y'all don't know, prostate exam was 50. I think they moved to the 40.
Yeah, 40 now.
So they let you know that, prostate is, prostate, I think it was number one. That and like heart disease is like the number one killers of men. So you got to understand that men are taking care of themselves a lot better now and going to the doctor because it was always scary, especially a man. When you think about a prostate exam, you don't want nobody sticking their finger in your ass. You feel what I'm saying? So when you think about that shit's scary.
I mean, shit. Now they got like a little kind of like the size of a pin where it's like a camera.
Oh, I ain't know.
Yeah,
that.
Man, they do that now. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't
bro.
know.
To go in the prostate, go in the anal canal and look at the prostate, see all this stuff. So yeah, bro. So they doing that.
But so, like I said, the older men, like maybe somebody that's born like in the
you talking like dudes that was born like in the silent era,
like in the if they was somebody that's born in the 60s or something, they would probably be like 60 now. Like they was born like 61, they would be 60 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so those men are probably like the era of men that probably will live like 80 years old.
Okay, and then anybody on back, those are the ones that was dying off early,
right?
Gotcha.
Because you got like I could think of like my grandfather and his uncles and his brothers and stuff. They all bad alcoholics and never went to the hospital. My granddad died because he drunk himself to death. He had holes all in him because the alcohol just ate him up.
Damn.
So it's like when you think about how men and women cohabitate, we live longer. And then one of the reasons why those men, even those men that you talking about that wasn't old, if they had somebody in their life, the reason that they live longer is because women would typically say, hey, baby, you've been acting XYZ. You need to go to the doctor. And the women would stay on these men more and more about going to the doctor. And that's the only time men, and you can hear doctors talk about this, the only time men come to the doctor is because their wives make them, or their wives make them appointments to go to the doctor. So us cohabitating, we live longer. Even though women going to always outlive longer than, I think we're going to see a decline. I think women and men are probably going to die around the same age. But typically women in a marriage are going to always live longer because it's going to be a lot less. She's going to be happier through that marriage than a man is.
Man, like, and I'm really trying to understand, like, just in relationships in general, like how much men sacrifice themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like
you do
before.
You got to think about this. When you are a man, right? Ain't no better feeling than some new pussy.
Man, they say, man, what's better than good pussy? Man, shit, no
A
pussy.
new pussy. Bro, that's some real shit. Ain't nothing better than getting some new pussy, bro. So it's like when you thinking about that and then you sacrifice that because you don't want this person using your family over your hanging your family over your head because you have an urge that you don't give a fuck about this bitch you fucking because we don't love like that. Like my dick, this is some real shit. And that's why I said men now have to change their mindset. But honestly, my dick don't mean that much to me. I'm gonna give it to anybody that want this motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? Shit, bitch, I'm trying to fuck. Hey, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, especially if I'm a drought, that big bitch looking fine as hell right now. Shit, what the fuck? Like, why would I not go and knock this hoe out real quick? You
Big
know what I'm saying?
facts.
If I'm in
Big
a
facts.
drought, so it's like men and women can be way more selective with their body. That's why men don't respect women as whores, but men, it's like, you give it up to be married.
Facts.
And a lot of men don't understand you lose your fire.
Bruh, yes.
You slowly when you don't have sex with multiple women, you lose your youthfulness, your vibrantness, your get up and go about you. You lose a lot of stuff that made you you. You get more docile as you get older.
Facts.
You just want to sleep and you get grumpy and you wonder why. And then you get you some new pussy. And this is what I tell men. Especially if I know that you being faithful, I would advise, man, never to. If you get older and you like, oh, I'm gonna get some pussy, I would advise you not to, because you don't know what the fuck you're gonna do when you get some new pussy. You don't know what the hell you'll do. You might go out the fucking deep and like, fucking, I ain't. Look at the nigga in holidays. Hey, put your bum on the phone. Hey, come on tonight. You feel what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, women, when it comes to sex is not a high priority for them
At all, bro.
and they try to act like it is, like, oh, he gotta have this many inches, or he gotta be able to fuck me like this. And like, if a nigga's, taking care of you, gave you some babies, put you in the house, clothing you, feeding you, you might have to go to work because typically women work either way. That was back in the day when it cost them, but from the 60s on, women, pretty much work.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying? So you getting everything out of life you want. You got your kids, you got your house, you got your man, you still get fucked, here or there when you want to get fucked. Because a lot of men don't understand, as soon as you get married, nigga, you don't even have sex like that. And then it ain't this, and a lot of times, just to keep it real, being a married, it ain't even about that she not don't want to. It's a lot of shit that go when you have kids and put them to bed and feeding them, and you see, I'm trying to do a podcast. My son was just outside the door. Just think about me trying to have sex. Now, who banging outside the door? Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? So when you have these understandings about a lot of stuff, it's like I'm not going to be a person to put a lot of blame on stuff, because I feel like at the end of the day, since we're talking about masculinity, men are to blame for a lot of things that we have issue with now.
Yeah, man, we have allowed it, man.
We allowed it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we allowed it. You got to understand, all this shit is a game by other men who are more higher than other men to set these laws and shit. Just think about child support wasn't made by a woman.
Man, the government.
The government. Yeah. So it's when you have this kind of understanding and see it. Cause like I believe in marriage, but marriage is broken. And not necessarily the two people getting together, it's the legal aspect.
Man, yes,
or getting fucked over a barrel when it comes to getting married. Right,
bro, and I'm the same way, because I've been going back and forth about how I feel about marriage too, and I'm kind of at that state right now where I'm like, man, until I see like marriage reform, I'm kind of like,
I would advise anybody before you get married, it should be definitely marriage reform, and it ain't even really about no damn prenup, post-nup. No, it needs to be marriage reform. And honestly, marriage should be a 10-year thing. Marriage should not be a lifelong thing. It should be 10 years. Y'all, if y'all gonna do this shit again, remarry, it should be something like that. And then, because there is nothing on earth really that has a lifelong contract like that. Your phone bill, your life insurance, right. You can have term. Like if you do life insurance, you have 10-year, then you do a term, you redo it, and is maybe the rest of your life when you have to turn 60. So it's your premium different. Like you don't really just have something that's just a lifelong thing, a commitment like marriage is.
Right.
Which is crazy, because it's hard. Marriage is, I'm gonna say this. Marriage ain't hard at all.
Okay.
It ain't hard. The shit ain't.
Chris Rock said it. He was like, "Shit, it's only hard when one person is working."
Yeah, this shit ain't hard at all. I'm not even gonna lie. It can be fun. It can still be fun. It can still be exciting. I think personally, from my experience and just taking notes from other people, you have to be with a woman that is really, really carefree about you being honest about who you are as a man. I had a guy ask me, he was like, "You married? What does your wife have to say about the stuff you post on Facebook?" I said, "What do you mean? How the fuck would she have an issue? We good."
Right.
And I was talking like this before I got married. And actually, I toned down a lot of shit that I say now, like Facebook and social media, because of her.
Right.
It's not because I'm whipped or anything. It's just a respect thing.
Facts.
You have to have respect. You're gonna have anything in life is some type of conformity. You go to a new job, new place, new roles, new business. It's gonna be some type of conformity going to have to happen for you to operate in that system. And that's just how life works. And men understand this.
Right.
The issue is a lot of times when it comes to conforming, women have an issue with conforming. Women to tell you, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, but depending on how they feel, that's when they change a lot of stuff. You get what I'm saying?
It's negotiable with them.
It's always negotiable with them when it comes to their feelings. But as men, we'll take the grudge work and be like, "Oh, I don't want to do this, but I said I was going to do X, Y, Z," because that's how men make. That's what makes us happy, is knowing that we are men of our word. And like I said, that's why masculine is under attack too, because you could deal with a guy now, and he say, like I said, what they say, all I got is my word and my balls.
Facts.
We don't have those same kind of codes now because guys ain't raised up to be like that. If a guy feel like, "Oh, well, I don't go fuck that nigga," you know what I'm saying? He gonna change it because that's what his mom. He's woke up. His mom like, "You know what? Fuck that nigga. I don't give a fuck. I know I said this, but fuck that nigga. I'm gonna go out and do what I want to do." And now he didn't seen that, so now he taking all his relationships. That's how he's supposed to deal with people.
Facts.
So, like I said, masculinity is just a different thing nowadays, and men are to blame for masculinity. How we're gonna go about changing it? Laws need to be changed, marriage need to be changed. I'm big on, like I seen Young Blue fought for his child. You know who Young Blue is?
The rapper.
Yeah, and he talking about he didn't give up on his son. Now he has custody of his son.
Man, let me tell you, man, Matt Barnes. I don't know if you heard recently, but you know, he got custody of his two oldest twins, right?
I didn't know that.
But man, he spent like upwards of like $1 million, man.
It cost that.
You know, so I was like,
and you gotta think about it, but that's for a Matt Barnes though.
Exactly,
because you know you gotta understand, when the government gets involved, it's all about money. They don't give a fuck about people. They don't give a fuck about the kids. You got to think about this. Last year we had 2 incidences, right?
Okay.
2.
Okay.
One woman had 2 kids, jumped off a building. The father came out and they got court documentation of him saying, "Hey, this bitch crazy. I'm trying to get my kids. She jumped off the building, killed her kids." Another incident. Woman, 2 kids, dad, the same thing. "Hey, I'm trying to get my kids. This bitch is loony. She killed her kids on purpose in a car accident." We see this all the time, bro. Men are fighting for their children. The government is very slow. You have to spend a lot of money. And a lot of men just feel like it's easier to not say, "Hey, fuck it. I don't want to have to deal with going out there and fighting for my kid." And sometimes you understand it, and sometimes you're like, "Nigga, that's your seed." You know what I'm saying? That's your responsibility. And us as men, it's just that responsibility of us being men. We want to have that responsibility and have our kids under our house so we can watch, because we know statistically fathers are better parents than mothers. This is a statistical fact.
And look, you'll have a woman argue up and down because they have a biological assignment of caring the child, and they feel like because they give birth that that makes them the better parent.
They slow it down. It's a statistical fact that women by rate and percentage will kill kids more than men.
Yes. I think
people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand math, right? So let's say you got 10 women with children and 5 kill them. So that means 50% of those women kill kids. And you have 1 man with a child. If he killed, that's 100%. So you got to understand, if you got 10 women, let's say 4 men, the percentages is still low because it's so small a number of men get their full custody of kids that their rate and percentage is still lower than the big number of women that get the kids. That's how crazy that shit is.
I mean, even think about like childhood abuse, you
Yeah.
know, like when you think about kids who were kids who were touched inappropriately by
Yeah.
men and stuff like that, a lot of that happened under the watch of their mothers.
Yeah.
Then-
People don't talk about that. Like a lot of people are getting pimped out by their mothers. People are
Yo.
crackheads, getting pimping their daughters out. People don't understand. Even the statistic is skewed by saying that men touch kids more because of even the women that get touched. Just like this, Charlemagne talked about how he was touched at 12.
Yeah.
B. Ray Davis talked about how his two mama friends touched him when he was like 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
And us as men, we saying, oh man, you the man. You fucking at 13. Oh man, you got two bitches fucking you.
Yes, bro.
We look at each other like that and we say, oh, you the man. And we don't take it as molestation because we at that age we horny, we want to fuck.
Yes,
We watching
bro.
pornos and shit like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So it's like with us, we don't take it as being molested, right? But a woman, repeat this, a woman don't take it as being molested either. Let's be clear. This is gonna be controversial. Women don't take it as being molested either, but when women, if they don't get their way,
then it'll be there.
Now it's molestation, and we see this even with adult women all the time. Just think about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case right now. A bitch didn't get her way, and now all her shit coming the fuck out in trial.
Man,
she chopped the nigga finger off.
Man,
like, bro, when you think about what the fuck really going on, and men allow this,
bro, because they
and this is another thing. They had a guy last year, 2 baby mamas, a doctor. Last year, at the end of last year, he left his baby mama, his first baby mama, ex-wife, whatever she was. He was mad about her. She was playing games with his child. He left for a guy with another bitch. Explained to this new bitch, hey, this bitch is giving me issues, with the woo. She, same story. I never do like that. With the woo. Okay. She got a kid by him. Same thing. She giving him issues running around. He gets on live, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He was on live, black dude. He was on live
man.
last year. He was like, yeah, I'm at my girlfriend's house. I just killed my baby, my ex-wife, and I'm about to go in here, and he killed himself.
Yeah, he killed the ex-wife, the girlfriend, and himself.
Yeah, and himself, because they was playing with his kids. But there was like 5 or 6 stories like that last year. That was the one that came out to be like the biggest of the biggest because he had went on live. And the thing is, you're going to start seeing a lot more of that because COVID. This is just another thing. COVID has exacerbated people's mental to be fucked up and scared so much more now. People are scared.
Yeah.
Scared. Like, you got to understand, people are fucking fucked up. They scared. They don't know if they're coming or going. It was a point during COVID that there were more suicides than COVID deaths. Look it up, bro.
Damn.
There were more suicides than COVID deaths.
But you know what? Now that you think about it, because you gotta think, man, like isolation, being by yourself, not having human contact, like when they talk about throwing people in the box, I don't think people really understand. Like, man, you're listening to all that white noise and you're not having anybody to like bounce off thoughts, man. You start hearing stuff, man. Like, yeah, you can lose your mind.
So that lets you know men and women are meant to be together. Or just intermingling with one another, you know what I'm saying? And so we got to have that type of cohabitation with each other. So we can't say we don't need women and women don't need men. We need each other to balance each other out. The thing nowadays, we have a lot of role reversal. Like I said, you see a lot of these little boys with their mama twerking and shit in lines and shit. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And so, yes, and even Kevin Samuel said this. He had, like you say, he had feminine ways because he grew up around women all the time. You see that a lot. Not to mean that the man gay or nothing like that. You have feminine ways, feminine mannerisms. You pick up on shit. If you around bitches all day, you're gonna act like a bitch.
Yeah, facts.
This is what it is.
Just facts.
That's why you have to have, and that's why I say it's a lot of women when they don't know how to raise a boy, they just put them in sports, be around other men, which is good. But now you overbearing because you think you're doing what a father would do, which
Mhm.
and still gonna mislead him. And you gotta understand, people don't understand that your parent is your God. You don't know. You could say God is God that, but one thing you do know is who created you is your mother and your father.
Right.
And like even in your situation, you was longing for your father,
Mhm.
so you reached out, find out that you had, your another man that was your
Mhm.
father, and I don't know how that relationship working, but at the end of the day, it's still gonna be a longing to figure out, even at your age.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You 30,
Right.
you're a grown man.
Right.
So to still want to figure that out, to still have that longing and that willing to reach out to figure out what piece of me is missing, because that's a
Mhm.
puzzle to your life,
Facts.
even if it's 30 years old. Because you got to think, if y'all in a relationship right now, you might live to 80 years.
Mm.
That's 50 years you have with your father. Not saying that he might live, but you never know.
Right.
He could live to 100. I don't know how much older he is. He could
Right.
live to 100. You could live to 80.
Right.
If you get another 30 years, you live to 60. He live to 80.
80. Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So mending these relationships and understand what we got going on with this masculine and these single mother, this society shit, pushing all this trans shit. Got because like my nigga, if I said right now, if I walked outside and told people I was a motherfucking bird, they'll put me in a straitjacket.
Man.
But now men can say they women and women can say they men. And the thing about it is over there, it's either Switzerland or something like that, or it's one of them countries over Europe or something.
Okay.
Kids are suing parents
I,
for
I,
letting them go through a sex change now.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That shit is wild.
Yeah, because I think I forget the percentage, but I think it's like anywhere between like 30-40% of like people who go through like the post op, they
It's
end up.
52% of people that do that go commit suicide.
Oh wow.
52.
Wow.
Yes.
I was just gonna say that people just regret it, but I guess that would go into that number.
Yes, 52% of people who have surgery,
Mhm.
transgender surgery.
Mhm.
What they I forgot.
Post op.
No, it's the term to not corrective or not. What the fuck that shit?
Gender reassignment.
Gender reassignment.
Cool.
People that do that is 52% of people that do that, and they find out that think it's going to make them happy, but it's not. And that's why I never take people serious when they talk about, if a person say, I I want to talk about mental health and they talking about some transgender, but they support transgender. You don't give a fuck about mental health, because I've heard plenty of mental health professionals talk about, hey, before we even get to the transgender shit, it's 10 other things we got to address before you want to be a fucking woman. We got to talk about you being touched as a kid. We got to talk about you having multiple person syndrome. We got to talk about you being fucking schizophrenic. We ain't even fuck you want to be a man. We got all this other shit. And so a lot of people don't get to the point where we can have real conversations about it. Like even men, like I said, women don't have the empathy to understand what it's like to be a man. Like one of the women on Facebook has said, well, I'm not going to work if I got to come home and do all the cooking and cleaning. So I said, well, what about your man? I said, he got to come home and do a lot of other shit. Like he got to cut the grass.
Facts.
He got to take the car to get oil changes. He got to clean the cars, wash them. He got to fix whatever's fucked up in the house to get somebody to fix them. He got to stay attending you. Don't let the wash machine go out and let the dryer go out. You can't do your shit in the house. It's a lot of shit to go in. The tools you gotta have, the lawnmower, the equipment, the hedge trimmers, the paint brushes, the ratchet sets, the tape measures. Like it's a lot of shit that goes into being a man and what it take care of a household. They're redoing furniture and knowing how to just do simple electrical work around the house, know how to patch holes in the fucking wall so you ain't got to pay nobody. Like you have to have a man that has some type of knowledge or can watch a simple YouTube video, or you're going to be at a lot of fucking money, man, because that nigga don't know how to do shit, man. So just those type of things. And I said I was going to make a list of being a married man and what it requires for me to maintain a house. I want to write every little thing detailed down. How many times I went and got the tires rotated, putting tires on the car, brake changes. Did I do it? Did I pay somebody? Oil change. Did I do it? Did I go pay somebody? Paint houses, paint rooms, how much the paint cost, how much the bucket cost, how much time it took, when did it do it? Who I had to come look at the AC when the AC went out. Did I fix it? Did they fix it? How much did it cost? Like, I want to have a whole list of all of this shit. So women can understand, hey, it ain't just because you think you doing something. And let's be real, you ain't cooking every fucking day.
Bruh, at most probably 3 times a week.
And that's pushing 3 times a week.
Yeah.
You ain't washing clothes every fucking day.
Not at all.
You ain't cleaning every fucking day.
So what's the issue?
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, so when women say I'm doing all of this stuff, we got to get to having real conversations. So when we have real conversations about just us coming back to form about the masculinity and the femininity. Yes, men want smaller women. Yes, ain't nothing like some new pussy. Yes, I know women want to be taken care of, and the way a man can take care of a woman, first and foremost, is financially, even though we know financial is not all a man is supposed to be.
No.
But we understand that financial puts a lot less stress because women stress over money a lot more than men do.
Man,
that's why women divorce.
I don't know if you posted it or not, but it was on Facebook, and like somebody was like, bro, if we weren't worried about being with women, though, men would not worry about money at all.
It's no point. It's no point.
We'll be minimalists.
Most men would be. Most men. I seen a post last week about a dude talking about he's a minimalist. He stayed by himself, and the nigga just got a TV in the chilling room. That's it. In the game, that's it. Like, he was showing his bathroom. He got a toothbrush and toothpaste and some wash rags. Like, it was so simple how he lived, because people don't understand. Women control how 80% of the money is spent in a household. Because we know women are the biggest consumers.
Facts.
Most of your commercials are geared to women.
Facts.
So we know that, and this is just a fact. Keeping women and men apart makes people spend more money. 2 households. She stay in an apartment, you stay in your apartment. If y'all dating, y'all come to one. That's not, it's one household, one income. Just think about, she probably will buy her a brand new car. You like, man, baby, you just paid this now. You might want to hold down a little bit, drive until you might need a new car. You know what I'm saying? Or how she shops and going out and doing different shit. Like I said, being in a relationship helps both people, and that's why when y'all come together, you can make a lot more money together. If both of y'all got a mindset of just how to spend money and being diligent in y'all money, right, y'all could you could do a lot of shit. Like, people be talking about 100K by yourself. Nigga, if you can make 150 as a team, and y'all maneuvering in a certain type of way, and y'all ain't got to pay for, like, let's say y'all got kids and y'all ain't paying on daycare and none of that shit, they in school and stuff like that. Okay. Nigga, you should be making a lot of fucking moves. 150 as a couple is good. They say your divorce rate goes down a lot the more money you make. And they don't just have to be the man. Right? And so, like I said, these are conversations that people really don't have, but marriage definitely has to be fixed. Marriage is a fucked up institution. I don't even see why we have marriage in the first place, because why the fuck I gotta tell you that I'm marrying this bitch? And why the fuck this is some real shit. If I could just take a DNA test, why the fuck I gotta be married to say these my kids too? Or have a say over these kids? Oh, because this is some real shit. I mean, my wife wasn't married when we had our kids. Right. And they was telling us, hey, he got to sign and do all of this stuff to say these are his kids. This is in the hospital. This is what they told us at Princeton. Wow. So it's like, if I could just take a DNA test and I could prove these my kids, I don't even have to get married. So I should have any kind of say so I want on these kids, right? Facts. Okay, then. So the only thing that would be different is the name. And I feel like if you want to just change your name, it should just be a simple paper to say, hey, I changed my name so it can be documented for like health records or something like that, hey, I'm just changing my name to get married because I'm marrying this guy. We have these kids and these kids are here. It's simple. It shouldn't be like, oh, y'all getting divorced, we're gonna pay this money, y'all gotta pay for a marriage license. Like, if we want to fucking stay together, just stay together. Facts. Right? So like I said, marriage, the institution of marriage is just a fucked up institution right now, but I don't think it's bad. It ain't hard. Shit's boring.
I mean, and I think that's the thing too. Like, I think, you know, not to, because I know like a lot of women feel like, oh, y'all trying to put the blame on women and stuff like that. But like a lot of women look at, you know, marriage or like long-term committed relationships as like bondage. Like they
You
like,
think so?
yeah, yeah, because like you hear women talking about they want to be free and be
But you're right. You're right. You're right.
they
You're
they
right.
want to
You're
be
right. You're
free.
right.
I mean, think about it, man, this is a generation of women, bro. They going on trips now. You know what I'm saying? They globe trotting and stuff like
Right.
that, bro. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to be bounded to stuff like that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Commitment. Because
Yeah,
because commitment, like I said, men and women, when it comes to commitment, women are not built. They really not built for commitment because their feelings always changing.
bro.
That's the issue with commitment with a woman. It's hard to commit with a woman. Oh, excuse me. It's hard to
Certainly.
commit with a woman because of the commitment issue, because of how they feel.
Right.
Their feelings change. Their feelings are fickle. You got to understand, a woman bleeds every month, bro.
Like what, 29 days, 28, 29 days?
Every month. 12 times a year, her feelings didn't change. And each one of them periods, they are not the fucking same.
Shit, I heard that it changed several times during a day.
Right, my nigga. So you got to understand, you are dealing with a creature that changes, that is not steady or steadfast on anything that she's doing. That's how she feels. And we already know anything that you do based off emotion will always lead you down a road of trouble.
Facts.
Always. And so you got to think about that. Just think about how these men moving now, raised with women with this type of emotion. Women are emotion spent. That's why they got the shit at the front of the counter, or the counter at the front called the impulse counter. That's what the shit called, the impulse. Nigga, I don't move all impulse like that, do you? It might be every now and then I just want, like, I'm bored, I want some excitement. I don't just move off impulse. That's why when women talk about one of the things they want in a man is to be fun,
exciting and adventurous. Like, bro, I went through that with my ex, bro. Like she was she was like she wasn't used to the type of relationship style that she had with me, because you know, I think before me she was in a lot of like toxic, you know, up and down like relationships, and she literally called our relationship boring, bro. She was,
but most people don't understand relationships are all boring.
exactly, and it's supposed to be boring.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like stability is not exciting. Like,
right, no. But and that's why you can understand kind of how people can be in toxic relationships as well too. You don't know if you come in the house, you bitch trying to throw a vase or put some pussy on me.
Bro, have you listened to that song on
Kendrick Lamar?
Yes.
Bro, I already knew you was going. I already knew. But and see, those are the things.
Exactly.
Because those hit all your emotions. See,
Yes.
when you in a committed relationship, it's just like this. Just steady. You ain't hearing this emotion up here, that emotion down. It just
right
steady.
there.
Whatever emotion it is, you just want to try to ride that wave, man. The thing is, you have to find some type of excitement. I think that's why infidelity is a thing, because the sneaking and the newness and the feeling that you get, because that honeymoon phase. But you gotta understand, if you're not disciplined past the honeymoon phase, you're gonna always have the same issue. And I think personally, people need to understand: are they a commitment type of person or a honeymoon type of person? Because we have those type of people. So if you're a person like, hey, I'm gonna date this person 6 months, I'm not going longer than 6 months because I like the honeymoon phase and I know I need to cut this person on 6 months. You need to know who you are as a person and not try to take that 6 months and go further, because 2 years from now, I'm gonna be trying to do that with somebody else, but I'm gonna be cheating and sneaking and hurt somebody's feelings. Just date somebody 6 months. It's like, I think it's fun while we lasted. It's my time to move on and just be an adult with somebody. Or you could just be like, hey, you my fuck buddy or my friend. We having a good time. I don't want to be tied down. Those are conversations that people are okay having. But it's always the woman, to me.
Okay.
Most women that I hear. Okay. Now, men do want to try to commit and change a bitch here or there. But for most times when I hear, it's always the woman that's pushing for a relationship.
Oh, because like we talked about earlier, man, just what women get out of relationships in general. You know what I'm saying? And what the man has to give up and sacrifice in exchange for that.
All right. But it also goes back to her valuing her worth through your relationship. She want to see how much she's valued to you. But it seemed like I get more compliance from me. I've got more compliance Except for being married,
Okay.
I've gotten more compliance out of women when I don't give them what they want.
Being able to say no.
Like if I say, bitch, we just fucking. Shit, the bitches are gonna do what the fuck I want her to do.
Bro, and like I've noticed like women low key like men who they cannot control, bro.
It just is what it is because we're leaders. You don't, men don't, you don't worry about the pen. Lions don't worry about the pen and sheep.
Facts.
So it's just like that. You got anything on your notes you want to touch on real quick?
Man, I was just writing stuff down. I was like being raised with the simp chimp. You know what I'm
The
saying?
simp chimp. What's the simp chimp?
Like, you know, I do, you know what I'm saying, Chris Wynn, aka the Date Master.
Oh, the Date Master. Shout out to the Date Master.
He talked about like a lot of us being born with, like this simp chip, like being raised to be like these panderers, these guys that
the Disney shit,
the Disney Channel romances and personalizing women and stuff like that, and realizing even at like early ages, bro, like doing that nice shit to females, bro, that shit don't get you nothing at all, man. But you see the little boys, you know, you was growing up like being little assholes and being mean and shit like that. It was like that shit was like a magnet to women, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm goddamn writing you notes and all this other stuff. Like,
will you be mine? Yes or no?
You know what I'm saying? Yo, maybe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn. And then it's like you see this as you get older, like, you know, you try to be the respectable guy or whatever, and you always seeing the chicks gravitate towards the bad boy or now the toxic dude, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, shit, like all the shit that you was taught as a kid, you know what I'm saying? But then what's funny, a lot of the dudes, like I go back to this interview, like I was talking with my homegirls, and I was telling her, I was like, man, you know, folks won't believe, but the late great Tupac Amaru Shakur, he was a simp. And she was like, nah, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Fam. I said, bro, it was an interview that Tupac did when he was still going to that performing arts school in Baltimore, like around like 87, 88. And you know it's 87, 88, he got that Gumby, you know what I'm saying, asymmetrical haircut. And like, even the way he was talking, bro, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
but that was all image.
Yes, bro.
He had to have an image for rapping.
Yes, bro.
But you know, but even you gotta think about your rappers nowadays. All the people that's talking about these hoes and shit, whoop get married, Lil Durk, 2 Chainz, you got Snoop Dogg, you got all these niggas that talk about all of this shit, but then go and get married and been married for a long time.
I mean, shit. Since you're on that subject, even look at the I guess you say the thought leaders. You feel what I'm saying?
Who's the thought leaders?
I mean, shit, your Cardi B's, your Meg Thee Stallions. You know what I'm saying? I guess you can still throw Nicki in there or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
She married. So.
And it's like, I don't talking about the city girls and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about using guys and getting the bag and all this other stuff. But all these chicks, bro.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of that is image, and we talk a good game, but a lot of that is protection because we don't want to get hurt either. So I gotta put up this wall as if I don't give a fuck your feelings. I'm just doing niggas like they do me. Fuck these hoes. I'm just out here getting my dick sucking shit. And then it's like, oh, I was doing that shit a while. And then you like laid up with a bitch. I'm like, why the fuck I choose this bitch to lay up with? Like, I like this hoe. Like, I don't even know why I like this bitch. I just fucked 40 other hoes before this hoe. But this hoe, I'm taking on trips. Like, why? Like, sometimes you sit there, you lay, and you look next, you just look at the bitch and you like, nothing really special about this hoe. You know, I mean, good, but like, I don't know why I'm doing it. And sometimes it don't even be her. You be tired.
Right.
Sometimes you just be tired of that shit. And that's what they say. A lot of people say, hey, most of the time when men commit, they just be tired of that shit. It ain't necessarily something special about the woman or she does something special. She's like, my nigga, I get tired. I don't want to ask you your favorite color. Bitch, I don't want to know your birth. Oh, I don't want to do this dance and wall shit where I got to pretend. I got to show my representative. I really ain't, but I'm letting you know I really am, so I could just still fuck you. Like, I don't want to do all this shit.
Yeah,
like this shit is getting old. Like, do you know how many times I told bitches my name was Nate, my name really Cedric? Like, I'm getting tired of this shit. Like, I don't want to do this shit no more. And so, like, you really just find yourself being with a woman because you just get tired. Like, bitch, I can't run another lap right now. And she's suitable, and you know, a lot of times it just be I think women are wise enough too. when you get with a woman that understand that you when you tired too.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's when women want to settle down with a certain type of man too, because like you could turn up, like your nigga will probably turn up on you if given a chance or whatnot, but he just tired and he just wants to come home and he want to action shit like that because he tired.
Mm.
And people don't understand that being tired, that I can't run another. It just is what it is. Now that bitch, you ain't really that special. Yeah, we have good sex, you fun, I could be around you, I could talk. But yeah, I feel like number 10, I could do the same shit with, but I just didn't.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
And so a lot of women don't understand. A lot of women be feeling like they special, and that's why the commitment issue is a thing about being special. Or why they so big on titles because they want to know where they stand.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's a conversation. Like I said, we're gonna talk about that because we're gonna talk about love while we don't talk about love like we used to. I got some shit about that. Being tired because a lot of niggas just be tired in relationships. I just like I said, I got a
You
lot of
think a lot
heat.
of guys like just be, like settling, you know what I'm saying?
Not necessarily settling. I don't think guys necessarily settle. We all gonna settle at the end. All gonna settle.
Yeah.
I think that your mom say your stomach, your eyes is bigger than your stomach. You heard your mom say that? Like you would say, "Oh, I want all this food," but you can't eat it all because you're full now. And I think that's how a lot of people mentality. Their eyes just bigger than their stomach. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you get on social media, you see all these bitches, and then it's like you might can get them, you get them, then your plate too full, then you thinking you can juggle all these bitches, and you feel like I really can't. So it's like not that you can't, it's just time consuming. And then, like I said, chasing a lot of pussy don't put you in your bag or what the fuck you supposed to be doing.
Bro, what's that old saying? You can lose a lot of money chasing women, but you can't lose women chasing money.
Right. So it's like it just get like I said, I'm at a point now. I'll be 34 this year. Like I'm like, bro, I ain't got it, dog. Like I just ain't got it. Like I ain't chasing bitches. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm good. A nigga, what I'm saying? Like I have a great relationship. And I tell people this all the time. Like I have a great relationship. I wouldn't change nothing about it. The only thing I would change probably if I would have met her earlier. We had the same kind of mindset at an early age and probably would have had some more kids by now. That's probably the only thing. But like I said, I'm 34, she'll be 33. We talking about maybe having another child. I got two, talking about maybe having another one. So it just, like I said, that's probably my only thing. It just means some mean her younger. But being her younger was a different me.
Man, that part.
So it's like, like I said, I got a lot of heat about to come up. Like I said, I got a video about love. I want to take a touch on this love shit and just said men need to understand how to love a woman who she is and accepting her for who she is. Because I'm not the dude to tell you that you can't love a hoe. I'm not the dude that tell you that you can't love a hoe.
I mean, so I could get with that. I could get with that to an extent.
I'm not gonna tell you that. I bet you gotta understand she's a hoe.
Yeah. I can roll with that.
It just depends on your level
it's your level of understanding
of who you dealing with and how much of a man you are. Because let's say a woman used to sell pussy, like Pretty Woman is one of my favorite movies. Sometimes, like there was a part in the movie where the friend thought, hey, she's a prostitute, I'm gonna hit on her. And then she got upset because she was like, "Oh, that's how you think I am as a prostitute? But bitch, you were like I paid you to come, do this, whatever. You was getting paid to fuck other people, right? So now she has an issue because you got to understand. A lot of times, men date hoes, and the hoes actually have a problem with you dating them because they hoes, and not because you a simp. But it's like it's a self-esteem issue,
right?
How could you ever love me? And I know how men is when it comes to women and their vagina, how they give it away. How could you love me and truly love me as a man if you know I fuck a lot of people?
Yeah, it's kind of like what they say about you as a man.
It ain't, like I said, it ain't about you as a man. It's about my self-esteem is low right now because I want to be loved, and I don't ever think that I can find a man to truly love me. Now that I'm in this relationship, I'm probably going to self-sabotage it because I'm having second guess and second thoughts about who I am as a person, who I am as a woman. Am I even qualified to be here? You're such a good man to me. You deserve a better woman.
Do you think promiscuity and self-sabotage go hand in hand?
Do I think like you got to be in a relationship and then me gonna fuck around?
Like we hear a lot about like women like self-sabotaging relationships. And I've noticed like a lot of women who do that, they have a very like long sexual history with men and shit, right? To the point where
Well,
like
but that kind of goes back in what I'm saying.
yeah.
Because of that long history, it's hard because we know that bonding, but people don't like to talk about this. Pair bonding is hard for men too that had a lot of sexual partners. Pair bonding is hard for a lot of men who have had sexual partners too. And I can give you a reason why. If you didn't always fucked a lot of bitches, what kind of respect will you have for bitches?
I mean, I've always took it as like, you know, like guys could
So you think if you fuck, let's say you fuck 100 hoes,
yeah.
you think it's gonna be a special one out there if you feel like you just got to fuck all these hoes and it was just easy. You think you just gonna luck up on?
I mean, men been doing it for years though. Like men been having sex with tens to hundreds, if not thousands of women and still come home to like that one chick.
Coming home to a chick is different.
So you basically saying like if frat like a bachelor or some shit like that, like when that type to
Yeah, but like I said, it's hard. You can settle down because settling down is nothing for a man.
yeah.
I can say right now I can fuck 1,000 hoes, say I want to have kids and marry a woman and whatnot. That don't mean that I'm in love or I have respect for this woman just because something I want to do. I want to have it in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's hard that don't necessarily mean he pair bonding with him. He just chose to make his wife or his girlfriend, living girlfriend, or a person that he want to have kids with.
Yeah.
She might have been suitable. She might have been suitable to have kids with, but I don't really love this bitch.
Do you think it's possible to love and understand a woman, or it has to be either or?
Love is understanding.
Mm.
Anytime you love something, should be based on understanding. Like when you are loving a woman, if you're loving a person for their representative, that's where you always gonna fuck up. And people don't notice the older you are when you dating somebody, the longer you need to date them. If you're in high school dating somebody, you may not have to date them that long. But they 30 years old, you got a lot of life to unpack. If they 40 years old, you got a lot of life to unpack. If they 50 years old, there's even more life to unpack. Like you got to go through all of this unbagging, packaging, and damage, and dick dust, and dick and whole facts and abortions, and you got a lot of shit to unravel from this person the older they get.
Okay.
So that means you have to date these people a lot longer to actually understand who they are. But no, I don't. I think you can, as a man, I think you can love a woman, to love a woman is understanding. To love anybody is understanding. Your friends, co-workers, whatever the relationship is, to love that person, to truly love that person is understanding. But the person has to be transparent enough so you will know who they are, who you're dealing with.
And I think that's an issue because like I come from the school of thought like I can love you, but it's like because you move a certain way or because like you may be a mystery and the things that you do, it's like damn, I love you, but like sometimes
you can love a person through confusion.
I'm not necessarily saying confusion, but I think it's like, you know, when it comes to like women and stuff like that, like we was talking about like them being a mystery and like them like always like kind of going through their moves and their changes and stuff like that. It's kind of like how can you truly understand somebody who's constantly changing?
But that's understanding because you got to watch those changes. See, the thing is that time that goes in because a woman does change. Let's be clear. My woman is definitely different from 5 years I met her. Definitely 100%. But I'm also paying attention. And see, one thing that I noticed from being in men groups and talking to men, stop paying attention.
Mm.
She has to know you always watching her. You always question every move she making. Everyone, any little detour of how she normally moves, you have to take a mental note of that. Why she acting different? What's going on different? What make her do this? Why she went about this broad here, or why she take a little longer here? Not saying there was something different. Like it could like another nigga, nothing like that. She could be different, or she might want to feel sexier now. Like like my wife has in a mood now where she wants to dress more sexier. She done been pregnant, 2 years, dealing with kids for almost 4 years. So it's like now she's changed and she, we've been working now. She's been losing weight. So now clothes feel a little different. She want
Right.
to be more sexy. So it's like you have to watch. You have to always watch. And men don't watch. We get comfortable.
Mm.
And when we get comfortable, that's how a lot of our relationships go astray. Is that comfortability. And women want you always on your toes dealing with her. Always. You have to it ain't never, you can't never let up on a bitch.
But you being a dictator, said, you being controlling. You being
like that. And no,
controlling. You being a manipulator,
no,
said.
you never control a woman. You don't never control a woman. You can never control a woman. You just, hey, I'm always, is that what we doing now?
Yeah.
Whatever you own, I'm on. Like, if we, and that's, I say this, when we have a relationship, you should have y'all relationship 10 commandments. What y'all gonna stick with? These are important. These are non-negotiables. This is what we're gonna do. If you deviate from this, then this is the issue. We just have our 10 commandments, how we deal with each other, just like your constitution and anything else, how we're gonna dictate with other people in society and stuff. We gotta deal with each other. This is our society, this is how we habitate. So we need to make sure that we doing what we need to do as people. So when we doing this shit, like I said, that 10 commandment is very, very important. You need to give me a list of 10. I need to get a list of 10. So that's 20. And we need to see what we can do, what we can't do, maneuver. Can this be our 10 commandments? And can we go? And see, when they start deviating from the 10 commandments that y'all put together to enter into y'all relationship, then that's the issue. Because it needs to be written on paper and not no contract or nothing, not nothing y'all sign. Just y'all understand what y'all doing. You should put it on the refrigerator in y'all house, or both y'all have a copy, so y'all understand. Hey, this is what is required. That's how you had that understanding. And those 10 commandments, when you can find if this person can go along with that, it makes it easier for you to love that person because you know this person can stick with this. Like I said, you had to love a person for it is, because some you might make some, and that person say, "Hey, I can't do XYZ." And you might say, well, that's a deal breaker because this is very important for me to build trust with you. And they say, well, I know that I'm not going to be able to do that. And I don't want to. And that's when adults had to come to the table and say, I cannot live up to this because I'm going to let you down. People are had too much pride, too much egotistical shit to say, hey, I cannot live up to X, Y, Z. I'm going to let you down. Why we can't have that? I told women that before. No, you're a good man. No, bitch. No. I've had like 3 women I can think of, and they my Facebook friend that we fucking around with, and they be like, said you treat me so good with the but I want to go to the next level. I'm like, look, where I'm at in life, I am not a good man. We are just fucking, and we don't spend a lot of time, enough time for you to really get to know me, and I keep it that way on purpose. Because I don't want you to really know who I am. I don't want you to know the real me, because until right now it's a sexual thing. And men and women, we work differently. Like I compartmentalize bitches that I fuck with. Bitch, you in this fuck buddy box. It's hard to get you to the girlfriend box. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's how me and mine were. Women are like a ball of yarn. Hell, you can be fucking your bitch and look at her face and she's somewhere fucking else. She might be thinking about laundry. Damn, I got to get the kids. Like women, minds is just different. And it just like that. And so, like I said, though it's easy to look. I believe we make love a lot more complicated than it has to be. We try to treat love like it's just some road mystical fairy dust floating in the sky and Cupid shooting you in the ass. And now I got the love book, but it ain't that hard. It's like, man, who are you? Let me love you for you. Like, bitch, you fucked a lot of niggas. Okay, let me understand, deal with that. How did you fuck a lot of niggas that stay in the city? Are you from here? Like, see, people don't understand is a lot of bitches move because they know they fucked a lot of niggas, right? That's why you go to the strip club and you see a bitch. Hey, bitch, where you from? Bitch, I'm from Michigan. I'm not finna go strip in my hometown. I'm gonna do this shit, make some money. I'm gonna go back home to where nobody knows me. Right? Yeah. So when you think about that, you have to understand, like a woman that's doing this type of shit, stripping and you probably could love that. You see Cardi B and Offset, they seem pretty fucking happy. Yeah. She ain't never lied about who the fuck she was. I don't think she can get any more gutter than the shit she done said.
I mean, shit.
And you don't even see nobody talking bad about their relationship.
Technically, no. After the whole,
You know why?
talk to me.
You know why? Because she did like Making Good did. She don't. If you notice, she ain't in public spaces talking about that shit no more. She ain't really posting nudes and shit. She ain't really half naked. Like now, last video I seen a Cardi B, she was showing how to change a fucking diaper. Oh, bitch, you Martha Stewart now. Like, you feel what I'm saying? She like, yeah, you wipe the diaper. Like, what the fuck? You feel what I'm saying? Last time, before that, when she said I don't cook, I don't clean, but I got that ring.
Yeah,
I
say recording her like,
recording
her ass cleaning up, guys.
Right. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to understand, you got to separate entertainment from real life too. Because them folks seem happy. I also seem happy. And the only drama that we really know from that relationship, he got caught cheating. He got caught cheating, not her.
Facts.
It still ain't no nigga came and said, yeah, I've been fucking Cardi B. And you gotta understand that shows that she has a level of respect, because let's be real, Cardi B not an ugly woman. She got the money. Niggas, she could go knock a few niggas off real quick and niggas come out and say something.
Facts.
So that lets you know that a woman can be loved. It just depends on the type of man to love that type of woman. And like I said, I don't think it mean you a simp because you fuck a bitch. We don't. Let's be real. Most of us don't know how many niggas bitches can fuck. She ain't a virgin. You don't fucking know.
Boy,
a bitch gonna lie.
Oh, fast.
So, but if you can get
the
you
same face,
right?
Sure.
But if you can get you a woman, like if I'm a woman, this is some G shit. If I'm a woman and I was dating, a man asked me about body count, I would just say any number that I tell you will make you feel less than a man. So why do you want to know? Just date me and get to know me, and I would never make you feel less than a man, insecure, worried about another man. I will show you that I'm trustworthy. I'll be where I'm saying I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do. We can write down the 10 commandments, like I said, and I'm gonna follow this guideline and stuff. If you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna just walk in what I say.
I think I think like at times, like I hear you, like for sure, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna know, and you know, I had one of my big homies tell me, like, hey, you get to a point in your life where you stop worrying about how many bodies you got, and you start worrying about how many kids you got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that too.
But
I'm not dating a woman with kids though. I'm just not. Hey, I got 2 kids. I'm not dating a woman with kids, bro.
but like I think sometimes, like when we talk about a woman who, you know, kind of been like out there and stuff like that, like we talked about, kind of alluded to the earlier about like pair bonding and stuff like that, where that can become an issue.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of have to think about that. But I think, you know, kind of like to your point, like, you know, if she's willing to like say to herself, like, okay, I know I got a pass or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, I'm with this dude, I respect him, and I'm willing to try to, you know what I'm saying, work against those things, then you know, it worked. I mean, hey man, stranger things have happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said, bro, this shit is simple, bro. And we make this shit too complicated, bro. We really do. And you know, I know it's from technology. Like technology has separated us. That's the real shit. It's put us in a position where it has separated us more and more instead of bringing us together. Like you gotta think about metaverse. They're trying to make it metaverse. You got the roses and your vibrators and your pocket pussies and all of this other shit to make us reclusive, to make us just deal with ourselves. But people, like I said, suicide was higher in COVID at one point than deaths. So that lets you know we have to intermingle. We are people that are made to intermingle with each other. Now, there are some cases where people, you know, like this serenity, their own place and be secluded and stuff like that. And that's cool. That's understandable. But for the most part, a general sense, we have to be around. We have to mingle. We have to get different perspectives, because everybody say this, and I'm working on this about myself, that I'm more of an absolutist than the spectrum type person. You know, and so that's the thing with me I'm working on, and I feel like my work great being an absolutist when I see compared to people that's be like, well, people are on the spectrum of this, but I don't think you can make a case for every single person in every single person's life, because that'll fuck it up more.
Yeah, you gotta run off of generalities. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Just like this or that. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're talking about a spectrum, and since we're doing a podcast, we should address everything. This how we doing is talking.
Facts.
So it's like we might as well just talk address it all and shit like that. But like I said, like we make this shit difficult, bro. We need each other. At the end of the day, we both bring to the table. I do agree women do get more out of relationships than men. Um, and the thing is, you have to have a woman that's really, really open to you. Like I can do put a podcast right now and say, ain't nothing no better for than new pussy. And my girl will hear it and not be feeling no way because I done told her this when we was dating. But that don't mean you should feel like I want to go fuck other bitches because I don't, because I'm here with you. I married you. Like my loyalty. And that's what I tell people. I know a lot of men be like, oh, men cheat or whatever. You get some type of money. Like that shit. I transcend all that shit. All that shit. Like nigga, money ain't gonna change me. If I'm loyal to you now, when I ain't got no money, if I get 2, 10, 20, 100, I'm still gonna be loyal to you because I transcend all that shit because it's deeper than that. Money is just a vehicle to get where I'm trying to go. You feel what I'm saying? And really, this is my plan. If I got enough money, I would just go off somewhere. Me and my family, me, my wife, my kids, we go out somewhere. We just go and run them up on an island or somewhere. We just have our, our what you call it. And then maybe when our kids get older, when they get dating age, we might come back, do whatever the fuck, they want to do so they can meet them somebody and shit like that. But that ain't, like I said, society and dating women and being around women, you just be like, how the fuck we get to this point? And why the fuck am I so over bitches like I am now?
Right.
Like you really get, you like, and I'm at the point now, and I'm okay with admitting this because at one point I like pussy more than I like bitches.
I mean, I think most men do.
but a lot of men ain't gonna admit that. A lot of men to admit that.
Yeah.
Bitch, I fuck with you because I'm trying to fuck you.
But I mean, let's keep it. I mean, I'm gonna say this, and this gonna really be controversial. Women are really boring, bro. Like
no.
Listen, bro.
Okay,
listen,
I gotta
bro.
hear this. I gotta hear this.
Bro, think about it, dog. If women did not have vaginas, bro, we would ignore them, bro. Like we would not be bothered with
them. That's boring.
But I'm saying, but I'm saying, if they didn't have that,
I agree.
Like think about most.
I agree.
Yeah, like think about most of the things that we do, bro. It's kind of like
we do the shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree 100%. We would not deal with women, period, if they didn't have vaginas. But hell, like that's what make them exciting. Shit, we get a chance to fuck them. Man, that's what I. Bitch, I want to see what kind of. This is some real shit, bro. I love to see the dumbest shit I can say to a bitch and she still let me fuck. I love that part. Like if I say some stupid and she like, oh, that's so sweet. Like, oh, this bitch is too easy. Like I love that shit.
Right.
Like I love that shit, and then I love the one that makes me work. But it always seems like the one that makes you work the longest be garbage.
Don't that be such a letdown? Like
it's like I'm thinking you holding on to a motherfucking diamond down there, God, bitch. I throw this bitch back in the water. What the fuck is
this? Man, she's still on a Cuban zirconia.
All right, bitch. I thought we finna make some money. Put your ass on the strip, but I can't do shit with this bitch. This bitch sold me a motherfucking lemon around this hole. Take this bitch back to Tarrant Auto, goddamn. Hell no.
Oh,
the hell. But yeah, like I said, bro, we make this shit harder. Like I said, I don't think get up out. We had 2 hours recording and shit. It's a great topic. You and telling people your handles where they can find you at.
You can Sir Bradley Ashton, Facebook.
What you doing with your podcast?
Man, bro, I gotta start doing better about like being on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Masculinity Television on YouTube. You know, check me out.
Tell them again.
Masculinity Television.
Spell it out.
BACSCULIN-TV.
Okay. He got to get on his podcast because we finna do some shit now. And I'm reaching out to everybody. I told everybody that fuck with me. I be fucking with these niggas on Facebook. I said we're going to meet in person. He had a podcast before I did. But I said I was going to build me one, build a studio, and we're going to get this shit cracking in Birmingham, Alabama. All these niggas, we finna come together. We finna take this shit over. I don't give a fuck. Ain't going to be no hate. No, none of that shit.
Right.
We all gonna start our own shit. We all gonna build ourselves up. We're gonna all take this shit to the top. So that's how I feel about it. So I'm reaching out to everybody. Like I said, everybody reached out to me. talk to me, cool with me. This our first time meeting in public. I think I seen you at a basketball game. I was gonna come with there and talk to you at the squadron game. I know I seen you. Was you been in
Man, yeah, I've been about 4 or 5 of those shit.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I think I saw you at the squadron game. I was gonna come there and speak to you, but they was talking about somebody was finna close the concession stand at the bottom. So I went down there and got some to eat. I know I was being a fat ass.
You gotta eat. You gotta grow up.
But yeah, like I said, we finna take this shit over. I'm reaching out to people. I've been getting feedback on the podcast. A lot of people told me my first podcast video that I shot in my house was garbage. So a nigga done went and painted walls and put lights and shit, trying to just make it more watchable and shit. Got it looking a little bit better.
Oh, this the same room you and Chris was in?
No, it's over there.
Oh, okay.
No, this ain't the same room. This ain't the same room. But yeah, that first room with the gray wall. my partner always said, "No, that ain't it, dog." He called me and said, "That shit ain't it, dog." So I ordered him. People said they like this way this one look. I think it looked pretty cool so far for what I got. Going, what you think?
I mean, bro, like this is nice, bro. Like this is a nice setup, man. For real talk, man.
I think, like I said, I'm gonna get a few more cameras in here, and
like the motion following cameras.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that, but like I'm just gonna have it so we can have more people in here. So I just bought this wide angle lens shit, right?
Okay.
So it can show the whole room. So if I put like a person on the end right here and the end right here, and we can have 2 people right here, we can record everybody. Now, what I want to do, baby, to zoom, people zoom in on face and shit. So, like I said, I'm putting money into it, so I'm serious about this shit.
I mean, shit, but man got a soundboard and everything, man.
Yeah,
I mean, look, man,
we trying to do this shit, bro. Like I said, I'm gonna do it, and I don't want my shit. My homeboy called me and said my shit look amateurish, so I was like, I said I am amateur. He said, my nigga, you compete with other people. There's 5 billion people on YouTube. I said, you know what, you got a point. So shit, I painted some walls, did some shit. I still gotta get some other shit out of here and whatever. But like I said, we doing this shit. And like I said, I want everybody that got a podcast to do their shit. We're gonna network with each other. We're gonna build this shit up. We're gonna start doing events and shit like that. We finna take this shit over, man. But anything else you want to tell them?
Man, this was just a good podcast, man. I've been wanting to work with this man for a minute since he started doing his podcasting and stuff like that, and really just honestly just get my feet wet because I don't know if people really remember, but I was doing a podcast like 2-3 years ago.
I used to watch it. You and what the guy name with the dread? Justin, I see him.
B&J podcast.
Yeah, that's how I found it because somebody shared your podcast, and I used to watch. I think it was on Wednesday night.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm. See, I used to be watching all the time. I'm like, damn, what did happen to? And I asked you, I said, man, what happened to the podcast? I remember I asked you what happened to the podcast because Wednesday nights I used to sit there and watch y'all do the podcast, and y'all just stopped doing it. Hey. What Justin doing now?
I mean, he been doing his stuff, he been doing like podcasts through young entrepreneurs and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So he's still doing that stuff like that, but yeah, man, bro, if I had $1 for every person that asked me like, hey, bro, we ain't gonna do the podcast again, cuz.
But that ain't gonna make you rich doing a podcast with.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta do the podcast.
Yeah.
What you waiting on? He got good content. I'm telling y'all, man. I was watching, like I said, that's how I know. I used to watch every Wednesday that she used to come on Facebook, and I used to watch it. Like he need to get back on. He bullshitting.
Yeah,
niggas had to stay on my ass about my podcast, so I'm on other niggas' heads about their motherfucking podcast too. I don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck.
But you know what? I need that, man. I be needing those constant reminders because it's like I think I got that gift of doing that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like when people see that in you, it's kind of like, nah, bro, like you need to like act on it.
Yeah, you got to stick with it. Sometimes this shit, bro. Sometimes like
I don't think people really understand consecrating, bro. Is not like the easiest shit, bro.
No, it's not at all. It's not. And then like like even like putting shit on like YouTube, like creating thumbnails, something catchy, titling, tags, descriptions, links. Like, bro, this shit. It's a job.
Facts.
And reaching out to people, hoping they show up, being on time, and then the thing you have to worry about, like inviting other people for podcasting, is if they gonna be intriguing. They got something to talk about. They can, be your detractor when they don't agree and actually articulate a point. So it's a lot of stuff that goes into podcasting, and knowing what the fuck you talking about, because we are, a form of media. You feel what I'm saying? And people watch you to get information, and you don't want to lead people astray. And that's one thing I don't want to do, is ever lead people astray. And when I figure this shit out and start learning how to do the screen sharing and shit like that, we're gonna be all good to go. Because like I said, I'm gonna start sharing my screen and shit I get. And then next month, probably tomorrow's the what you call it, but it's a book I was gonna buy. But we're starting a book club.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, we're starting a book club for the podcast. I might just pull out an old book. It's pretty good. It's real good. Called Sperm Wars. I might do that tomorrow. And we're gonna do the book called Sperm Wars, and start that one for the month of June. June next month?
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. So I might do the podcast and talk about the book club. It's gonna be Sperm Wars, and I guess I'll just sit it on the table when I do podcasting for the month of June, and we're gonna read it, talk about it at the end. But each month we're gonna have a different book. I think the next book I'm gonna do is called The Happy Hypothesis. It's a book based on marriage and like just being happy in marriage and stuff like that, and what to expect and stuff like that. Then probably the next one after that is probably be The Well Superior Man.
I got that book.
The next one probably be The Four Agreements.
Okay.
I got some books. I have read some. I have read Sperm Wars, Well Superior Man. I have read, but they are very good books, so I want to put them on the podcast. Agreements I haven't read, but my wife has read it. She says it's pretty good. And Happy Hypothesis I haven't read, but I heard it was a really good book. So those are things that we're gonna do. We got a lot of shit coming. Let's say I just want to keep it interesting. I want to do this my city, Birmingham, born and raised, East Side. So I'm trying to keep it that way. Need to put a motherfucking East Side, the fingers on the wall. That's what I need to do, so y'all know it's real shit.
I mean, we all know the West Side the best side. You know what I'm saying?
But the crazy part, my house on the West Side now, so that's the crazy part. That shit wild as fuck. But like I said, we about to get up out of here. We've been running for a good minute. I want to thank you for coming through.
Man, thank you for the invite, man.
Been a good podcast. We're gonna get you back. I think we need to get you back on the Love podcast so you can talk about that. We can talk about it, your ideas, what you think. Like I said, we could do. Like I said, I ain't doing shit this weekend at all. If you want to come back Saturday or Sunday, it don't matter.
Cool.
We can do something like that.
Yeah.
But like I said, we out. The New Normal Podcast. If y'all over there on Facebook, y'all make sure y'all share it. And on Facebook, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And we out.